Welcome to our Excel module, and in this video I'll introduce you to Microsoft Office Excel product. We'll talk about some of the reasons why you would use Excel, what are some of the things that you should do before you start actually using the tool, and then we'll go through the basics of the software itself. You'll learn how to input data into the worksheet. You'll learn how to use formulas and functions. We'll go into some formatting basic options, and then how do you view and print the final product. This video is intended just to introduce you to very basic worksheet capabilities. As you embark on more difficult and more complex features and functions of the tool, especially as you work through SAM Cengage environment. So let's get started. Office products have very similar user interface, and Excel shares a lot of commonalities with Microsoft Word, for example, PowerPoint, where what you see is a number of tabs in a menu, and as you click on a tab, you see a number of options available to you. It can be a bit overwhelming if you're first time using Excel. So I don't want you to really worry about all these things that are available. We'll just kind of go slowly through them as we work through the exercise. So Excel product is organized in such a way that you work in sheets. You can always start new worksheet if you want. It becomes available here at the bottom. Sheet 1 is the default one. And within the worksheet, what you have is the ability to input data in a system that's designed through columns and rows. So what that does is allows you to create a unique combination of a row or column to give you a cell. And when you select the cell by simply clicking with your cursor on it, or going left or right or up or bottom with the arrows, you're able to freely move through the cell structure. So by clicking on this cell right here, I'm actually selecting column A, row 1, which creates A1 cell. And you can see that by if you click on it and if you go and hover above this name box, you actually see that you are on A1. So let's just go through a basic worksheet example. Before you start with the worksheet, it's very important that you do think about what are the requirements. What do you want to do with this worksheet? Excel tool is great if you want to do calculations. Gives you a lot of options, but you have to be careful, because if you don't know what the end product is, what is the look and feel of it, if you don't know what the requirements are and where the data input is going to come from, the data source, you're probably going to struggle with the tool because there are so many options. So we know that we have the data for our personal budget worksheet. We know what the data is ourselves because it's our own personal budget. We also know that we want to present income and expense dollars, and we want to see them by month. And within income and the expense categories, there are subcategories that make it all up. And we also want to create a title, and then we want to display some formatting options just to kind of show you what are some of the basic capabilities of the tool. So to get us going, we're going to select A1, which we already have selected, and we're going to create a column title. We're going to call it Personal Budget Worksheet. When you're done inputting in a cell, you can simply either click Enter or click on this Enter check icon. I like to click on Enter because it defaults to the next cell. In the next cell, we can type in monthly estimates, and then we will put in a heading for income, and then we can go down to row 8 and create one for expense and hit Enter. Now we can put in the months. January, hit Enter. You can certainly input all the months across, but I want to show you a little trick. Excel knows that if you do put in a month, that there is a good chance that you'd like to see other months. So if you do fill in, which is if you select the cell and then you go to this corner where you see where the little X symbol appears, if you grab it with a left click and just drag it all the way until December comes, you see that you have all the months. Okay, we can then copy and paste that. I want to show you how that happens. There are a number of ways you can do that. You need to select the data that you or input that you want to copy. So if you do that selection, you can either do one of the options is right click if you have Windows machine and then select copy. This means now we have this highlighted area ready to be pasted or placed somewhere else as well. And we do that by selecting a beginning cell where we want to paste this content, and you can do either paste or you can do right click again, and there's a number of paste options. We'll just do a default one, and here we are. We also want to introduce the categories within, and the options that we have are